Okay, so let's turn to the big one, the big man,
the big fish.
Yes, the guest for the week, the guest for this month, the guest for this series. You know, I'm having to come from a far field as Abuja, Nigeria, just to be here. And he returns that title as our fan. 001. No one fights that with him, because I mean, over the years, 22 years of Bush House, Nigeria, this man is clearly in a league of his own when it comes to supporting us. For instance, see him flying from a far field at Abuja, not once, not twice. Yes, the third time, just to come here support us. Again on the 30th, I already told us that he would fly again down to come and cheer that epochal event that we're doing to celebrate everyone who's been a part of this series. No much ado about any more thing. Our studio guest is one man who ought permanently to be here. By the way, the theme is with Akwa Ibom now aligned. Hello, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What a theme, even if we said to ourselves. Okay, so our studio guest, one Nigerian, one Akwa Ibom man who can effortlessly and dispassionately, truthfully, if you like, tell truth to power, is our studio guest, and we're so excited that a sponsor extraordinaire, a sponsor of our efforts, a great supporter of our effort, we welcome of his people, architects Ezekiel Nya-Etok, head executive director at Federal Housing Authority, Abuja, Nigeria. Architect Ezekiel Nya-Etok is our studio guest. Very nice to see you. Very nice.
So
welcome
much.
to the program.
What a privilege. It's always a privilege to be here. Thank you for having me.
Very nice.
Welcome.
Yes, let me allow the anchor to shoot the first question if you have.
Yes, I will like to start. Unfortunately, I was not here the first time he appeared. But let me take this opportunity and delve into what he does there as the Director, Federal Housing
Authority.
What do you do there?
Hey, work.
Work. What kind of work? Let's know the details.
Okay.
You wake up and don't go and trek around the place.
Yes. Actually, Federal Housing Authority is the housing delivery arm of the federal government of Nigeria. And we are vested with the responsibility of housing Nigerians from the perspective of the federal government. Now you have the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. They are largely to make policies. Then you have the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. They are largely responsible for making funds available, mortgages for people to buy the houses. Then you have the Federal Housing Authority, responsible for making sure that houses are made available on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria, which means every single state, every single local government, all the nooks and crannies of this country having houses from the federal government is resident in the Federal Housing Authority.
Okay.
And then we have several estates. For instance, the whole of Gwarimpa Estate is one of our estates.
Gwarimpa in Abuja.
In Abuja. The whole of Festac that we all know about is one of our estates. It's under Federal Housing Authority. We have that in so many states, and we have over 52 housing estates. And that runs into hundreds of thousands of houses, and with a portfolio that runs into trillions, the houses within our estate. So that's Federal Housing Authority. Then my role is the Executive Director, Estate Services. Now, Estate Services Directorate is like the engine room of the Federal Housing Authority. All lands are under me, all marketing, sales and everything, they are under me, all approvals are under me, all consents to assign, everything, ground rent, billing, every single thing, they are all under my directorate.
Very good.
So it's extremely large. As a matter of fact, I treat as much as 150 to 200 files and memos on a daily basis. So it's actually quite an engaging job, and I feel privileged when Mr. President was thinking of 5 people to be there, a managing director and 4 executive directors, that he decided to pick me alone from the whole of South, South and Southeast to be there and to put me in charge of that directorate is a responsibility I do not take lightly, and I feel humbled to be the one chosen for such a job.
Fantastic.
I hope I've attended your question.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yes,
These are some of the
have
estates, some pictures coming in.
We
Could
have
be.
background now.
Okay, just give us this before we even get, by the way, the theme, and I need people to take pay serious attention to the theme. With Akwa Ibom State now aligned. Hello, President Tinubu. That's the theme we'll be discussing. But still taxing. You are always almost in the air, on the road. You are always out of Abuja, probably because you are either trying to start new estates or to manage the other estates. How are you able? You talked about memos, you talked about documents. How are you able to keep pace with that?
2 things. The very first thing is that when you apply for a job, you are either applying to be rewarded, political entitlement, or you are applying to get work done. In my own case, fortunately or unfortunately, I did not support the president. I was not in the president's party, so he couldn't have given me the job as a reward. So it means he gave me work to do. So, and because of that, every single day between 8 and 8:30, I'm in the office. It's been over a year. And it helped me because in the private sector, that was my attitude to work. Every single day between 8 and 8:30, you see me in my office. And I'm there till sometimes 8 p.m. I must, as a law, and this broadcast is both local, national, and international. So people are hearing me even from the US and Abuja, where we are.
In fact, we have somebody joining us any moment now from Connecticut in the United States of America. Yeah.
As a law, I never allow file to sleep on my desk for 24 hours. There was a time I carried almost 200 files, back to my house, to my study, and I would treat all of them before going back.
Did Dr. Chika not scream?
Well,
she no wonder what you were coming home with those kind of troubles.
She knows her husband very well, and you see, when you make up your mind to do your work, you have enough time to do whatever you need to do. So because of going back home, I make sure that, let me tell you a little thing that happened. One of the things I've learned so much from people. When Mimiko was governor, we were very good friends, very, very good friends, and usually I'll go there for a lot of brainstorming. I've had this sort of relationship with several governors, but very quiet, never make my appointment public, you understand me? One day he sent for me, and I got to Akure and stayed in the hotel. In the morning I went to see him in the lodge, and I was waiting. Usually every governor, the place is full. So somewhere along the line I heard the siren blow, and then pew, he supposedly took off. So I was sitting down like, I just came yesterday, you asked me to come this morning, and they said he's gone to Lagos. So I was just sitting down there, I'm like, why did he do this? And then of course with time people started leaving because governor don't travel. And I was just trying to get my thoughts together on what to do. But I noticed one guy that kept looking at me. So after a while he just did like this, that I should wait. So I waited, and when almost everyone was gone, he said I should come. I followed him. We got into a car. He drove to the secretariat, went through a certain back door, and entered the lift. Boom, and then the lift opened, and there was the governor. So I'm like, what's going on here? He said, my brother, if God ever makes you a governor, apply some survival tactics. You must do your work. That what he does, as long as people know he's in the office, he must attend to politicians. So usually, what the big secret I'm letting out, usually he will send his convoy to Lagos Ibadan Road. There's a place there. So they will actually leave town and go there. Then he will use a marked vehicle and come. That as I'm here, even my secretary, no staff knows I'm here except my principal, secretary. Nobody knows I'm here. Do you get the point? Mm-hmm. And we sat down there from morning till around 5:30 p.m. We ate inside the office. He treated all his files. He did everything. And then around 5:36, we came down, joined the car, went to the back of the house. The convoy came back. Governor is back. Governor is back. Do you understand me? And I sat and I looked at the man. I'm like, wow. He says, for as long as you're in the office, you must attend to politicians. If you don't attend to politicians, they will say you're a bad man. And then there's work on the table that you've got to do. So from time to time, virtually once every week, he does this and comes to treat all his files, so he is current. Imagine a governor in the office for one full day without anybody, coming to him. Why am I bringing this up? It's that I learned some secrets. People are not going to clap for you that you are very busy without doing your work. Mm-hmm. So you've got to find a way where you can balance out the two. Another thing I learned from him, I will also say one or two things I've learned from my governor, is I followed him into his office one day, and very early in the morning. So we got in there. As soon as we got in there, he just went to his street. This was when he was, this 2006, because 2007 we went and contested, He just went, turned his chair, knelt down, everyone was there. He prayed till he was comfortable, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Then he got up. Oh, gentlemen, blah, blah. Whether you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, he couldn't care less. I said, wow, this is good. From that day, for over 20 years now, once I get into my office, whether you are Muslim, I was turn my chair, kneel down and pray. Do you understand me? Mm-hmm. It's too, you see, without wanting to sound somehow, the Muslims don't care who you are. When it is time for their prayer, they will leave you, put the mat there, finish the prayer, then continue. So if that can happen, myself, I can also say I get God. Mm-hmm. So I go pray my own prayer before anything.
Thank you very much.
Things you learn when you are doing your job.
Okay. We're glad to have you today in the studio in a different perspective. I'm sure you know that it's no more news that Governor has progressively
moved to where he is.
So where you are. And with the theme that we have today, with Akwa Ibom Style now aligned. Yeah. Hello,
President
Tinubu.
What do you think about that theme? Okay, let him shoot that.
It's very interesting because it's like, you say something, look at it and say hello. Mm-hmm. You understand me? So Oga Tinubu,
hello.
Hello.
What else?
We are here. They say Oga don't come. We dey wait. We won't see. Hello. So it's quite an interesting thing.
Very, very significant.
Absolutely so. But what I have been praying to God for wisdom is to know if you people are actually ready to hear the truth. So the question is, how do I operate with you today? Should I operate honestly, sincerely, or politically? Politically you can speak loud and say nothing. Go on. But when you talk of honestly, so you will have to tell me which way to go so that I don't enter trouble.
Okay. No, speak Ezekiel Nya-Etok. Ezekiel Be yourself. Be yourself.
Choose which you want to belong. we know you as a very intelligent person, and
I am
remember
You
short
are beyond
of
intelligence.
I am
Excuse-
going to intelligent.
no, you have to apply that to bring to Akwa Ibom, because we will not forgive you if you don't create an impact, if you don't create your presence here. The Federal Housing Authority influence or presence in Akwa Ibom
Those are
State.
two different topics. So
Okay.
my presence is a different topic, which I
All we
agree with you
need-
100%. But the question you are asking me is about His Excellency Pastor Governor Moeno, PhD, going into APC. My honest opinion on it. Amimbo eyebaniko or politics. At your own risk. You see, there are two sets of people. There is a politician, there is a citizen. But many times we mix the two. The politician comes to join the citizen, and the citizen does not know that the politician and himself are two different roles. Politics is the game of power. Governance is the, bringing the dividends of democracy, good governance to the people. Do you understand me? You must understand these two things. They are not the same thing. The politician's role is how he can get power. It's not how he can deliver. Governance role is how they can deliver dividends of democracy, good governance. So the politician is not interested, it's not his role to talk about good governance. No. His role, a good politician, is how do I get power? That is my own. It's like you go to the motor park. Ocho passengers' time is how to fill the bus. That's his job. How that driver carries you to where is none of his business. A conductor's role is fill the bus about his own commission. The bus takes off. When you come to blame the conductor on the role of the driver, the man is wondering whether you are okay. Because my job as a conductor is to fill the bus. The job of the driver is to drive you. They are two different people. A politician he plays the game of power. His own is how do I take power? How do I take power? Whether that power is given to a goat, or that power is given to a dog, or is given to a man, is none of his business as a politician. His own is how do I collect power? So you as a citizen, your job is simply to decide who to give power. That's your job. You cannot collect power. You can't. Your job is not to collect power. No. Your job is to give power. So now the politician joins you without you knowing. He manipulates you. He helps you to collect power. He has done his job. But you that was supposed to ask him that this power, who do you want to give? So that the politician knows that as he's coming to you, you are going to ask him questions. So he now goes back to his house and says, even me, they like tall ladies, so how do we look for tall ladies? Because they have come to know that if they bring somebody that is not what is defined, they will not get it. So as citizen, you must let the politician know that this is what you want. Then the politician is like a girl. I want to be so graphic, I don't know which way to go so that we can really get what I want. Now, a guy wants to marry a lady. Do you understand me? The lady, just after one meeting, moves into the guy's house. He doesn't need to woo you again. You're already in his house. But If the guy came to you and he said, "Oh, nice meeting you. What do you do?" "Ah, girl, I will go. I'll take you to." "Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I'd like to go to Dubai." "No, but the question is, you want to marry me? What do you do? What do you believe in?" Do you understand me? Yeah, and they, "Okay, come, let's go home." Sorry, sir, it doesn't work that way. You understand me? We can talk here. I need to. Then when the guy goes back, he say, "Hey, this girl, oh, Kai, she's not cheap. Oh, Kai, what do I do?" He starts to look for how to please you. And you give him time to be able to show that he is interested. He's got to woo you. Do you understand me? So now there's something I said somewhere, I think the last time I came here. I said, people are hungry is not a manifesto. People are hungry is not a manifesto. The people should say, "We are hungry." The politicians must say, "This is how we can solve your problem." But when the politician joins you and says, "People are hungry," you say, "Yes, people are hungry. People are hungry." You collect power from this man. Once you collect the power, because he's in your team, he takes the power from you because you can't handle the power. And once he takes the power from you, you now start to, he's already collected the power. You now say, "Hey, you're not giving me water. You're not giving me light." He never promised you water. He never promised you light. Because there was no time he was wooing you. There was no time you were asking him questions. Let's come back to where we are. Now, with that background, who is complaining? Who has the right to complain that Pastor Umoeno has left PDP for APC? You, the citizen? What's your business with the party? What's your business with the party? What is PDP to you? What you want is peace. What you want is good governance. What you want is dividends of democracy. The university the man attended is none of your business. What you want is a lecturer that can deliver the stuff. Let politicians break their head, because the man that was world leader in APC has to now contend with the world leader of PDP, the former, the present, who is going to be the new world leader. Sir, what is your business there? Let them, that is their headache. Yours is to ask, as the governor is going here to, what do I gain? I'll tell you, number one, you gain peace. Let me tell you something. You know, when I asked you, are you ready for the truth or not? Today in Akwa Ibom, I'm taking Akwa Ibom as a peculiar state. Today in Akwa Ibom, we have the number 3 man in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in person of the Senate President, His Excellency Barrister Godswill Akpabio. He is the Senate President. He is the number 3 man. Do you see that man keeping quiet and being embarrassed because of election results? Do you see it happening? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I know my brother Akpabio like the back of my palm. He is the Senate President. He's not going to keep quiet and say, "Oh, you know, Akwa Ibom is a PDP state," so because he's going to go back to Abuja. Oga Senate President, how far? I'm in Abuja and I understand Abuja very well. So we're going to have the sort of unsettled political atmosphere, the sort of fight and war that has never happened. Never happened. Because the Senate President must show cause that he's on ground. And PDP must show God. So who is going to suffer? The average man on the street. How does that concern you? What do you stand to gain? Look at them. But today, that fight has been annulled. That fight has been nullified. The Senate President is going to return 100%. And the governor is also returned 100% because the two forces are joining together in the interest of the governor. That's number one. We are going to be guaranteed peace. The only people that are going to be fighting, and God help them, is party executives. And just a handful of them. But I can assure you that there will be peace in election. On election day, the other people that are going to be very unhappy are politicians. Because now, campaign is going to be one way. So those that were waiting to collect money from PDP governorship candidates and APC governorship candidates, and do you understand me, playing the double game and everything, the politicians, is bad market for them. They are going to be annoyed. They are going to be unhappy. They are going to say their ideology. Please, I ask you, what is the ideology of PDP and what is the ideology of APC? Please, can somebody tell me? Who is more PDP than our former governor Fabio in the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Who is more PDP than himself? But he's in APC. How about the next strong man, Wike? Is he PDP? Is he APC? You see, this parties thing have been, don't kill yourself. You understand me? Sana, yeah. So number one, there's going to be peace, very, very peaceful campaign in Akwa Ibom. There's going to be very peaceful and we need it. Number two is, in the process of fighting, they will put the governor under such pressure that he's going to be distracted. But now, with no fight, the governor can concentrate and do his work. Who is gaining? The masses. Number three, spending money to fight. Political money is hard money. And it comes, do you understand me? And who enjoys? Politicians, not you. But now, the governor does not need to kill himself with bringing out loads of money from wherever to fight the election. So, who enjoys again? It is us. Number four, I come from the center, which is the theme today. And I will tell you that since the governor came over to APC, instantly the results started showing. What was the result? I am the head of estates. All lands are under me. You understand me? So, when we were coming to start the new estates, naturally, they want to start from the ED, maybe MD. After MD, it's me, because it is my schedule. Now, before it was hard, let's go to Akwa Ibom. Okay. You know, this is political era. Let's go to APC state too. Do you understand me? Architect, leave that thing. Oh, we know your governor is a nice guy, but let's go to APC state because this is our government. We can't go and be starting in PDP state. Yes, we know you are from there. But now that argument has died a natural death because this is APC. As a result, I can tell Akwa Ibom people that just this morning, a team went back to Abuja that came with me from Abuja, where we had a robust meeting with the head of service. I don't know how much I can let the cat out of the bag, but it doesn't matter. Just because of that seamless movement. Do you get the point? A team followed me here this morning. They went back to Abuja. We went to the head of service, had a very robust engagement. From the head of service, we went to the MD of Igbo Mortgage Bank to have very robust, engagement. And I want to tell the people of Akwa Ibom State that from next week, you don't need to put your ears to the ground. There's something happening about housing, which is what you were talking about.
Yes.
For workers in Akwa Ibom State.
Workers.
Yes, for workers. Workers means both the structure, the government, and the private sector. Because we are going to be able to give mortgages, we should be able to repay. So if you are not working, where do you get money to pay? But even the pensioners are workers, just that they are retired and they are still getting things back. So there's a lot that is coming up just for the simple reason that the governor has come to join.
Progressively.
Yes. And There are so many other things. You know, we have people in this state that we should be very proud of. And I want government as a policy to look at these people and give them, someone like Michael Bush, government should give you, look, Nigeria is, that's why I'm happy that the governor is coming to the center. He has to play the game of the center. The center profiles people from their place and brings them up. Do you understand me? Government makes people. El Rufai, look at his trajectory. We have stars in Akwa Ibom. Let them not struggle alone. There's nothing like government backing you, pushing you. When you have stars like him, being born Paraguay Bibio, don't just leave him to move. Give government support.
Backing. Absolutely.
Backing. So that Mbon Parawa can become an organization that is so strong that can make national statements. National statements. Let the governor coming to the center bring to the center what the center gives to its people. You know, it's I'm very proud, and he's been consistent.
Absolutely.
And only that, brother, when you were talking, I heard this city. I guess it was city. I guess it was city.
Yeah,
you know, one of my friends, let me blow you a little bit. One of my friends said his brother went to America for 2 weeks. And Yangodi, I go, bros, I want to go buy petrol. He said, petrol? Oh, you mean gas?
Architects. In one case, Monday, Cinema, I think my colleague would join broadcasting at the same time. You know, Estudofia took time, panel beat me and Mandy. If you put me in America, I speak American English.
Absolutely.
If you put me in Ghana,
you speak English.
If you put me in Ghana, I speak English. If you take me to Uruan,
no, don't go to Uruan. Don't go to Uruan. But I'm proud of you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Architect Nya-Etok, can you react to all of what he has said?
First, I thank him for very kind words. You know, Michelangelo of housing. What a title. Awesome. But he has said some very, very fundamental things. One of them is we need to understand that political parties are just vehicles. So please, Office of the Citizen, Akwa Ibom people, don't bother yourself with the school the man attended, with the party he used to get the power. Bother yourself with the stuff that comes from him on account of being a graduate, which is you have gotten power, Mr. Governor. How do we ensure that the power that we have is no longer the Akwa Ibom power, but the national power? How do we get to negotiate Nigeria in the larger interest of Akwa Ibom? How do we structurally and very tactfully align some of the best that we have from Akwa Ibom? Because Nigeria is the bigger field of play. You understand me? And when a governor comes and he's sitting at the table at the national, he is thinking of the different aspects that he will bring his people in to ensure that some of the very, very basic things. And I know my governor. This man is a businessman. At the risk of Oga thinking that I'm letting the cat out of the bag, my governor will never agree to move without giving certain conditions. I can tell you that for free. And those conditions is not giving me tickets because he knows that head or tail he will get his election. Do you understand me? As a smart man, his condition is, Mr. President, you know, my people are going to say this, please give me, you know, almost emotional blackmail, give me this deep sea port. At that point, Mr. President, and it's good you go early. There's a time you go and the thing is no longer news. Are you getting me? This governor is smart, he's sharp. He's sharp. I'm telling you, there's a time that defection no longer is like but he was very strategic at the timing. And at that point, when after Delta, Delta sounded like an isolated case. Mr. President needed to have a consolidation to create a momentum that will make others to come in. My governor struck the iron while it was hot. And at that time, President, and I can assure you, I know no Pastor Omoino like the back of my palm. He has negotiated deals. Those deals are not give me tickets. No. I'm sure that very soon Mr. President will say something about Ibom Deep Sea Port.
Amen.
Even me coming here, do you understand me? The housing thing. I know I had a meeting with the chairman of Federal Mortgage Bank, the MD of Federal Mortgage Bank, and coming here to take Akwa Ibom civil servants. We are going to be at the forefront and we strike it first. Do you understand me? So the governor coming in is going to do us a lot of good. I know my governor. He talks with a small voice, but he's not in the loudness of the voice. Do you understand me? He's in the content and being able to strategically hit it where it matters. There's something that Sammy. There's something that my governor has done. I said something about Mimiko, and I could say about Donald Duke, I could say about... There's something about that the governor has done.
Governor Moino.
Governor Moino. And this thing is very strategic. Till tomorrow, I talked to him on the line he had when he was commissioner.
When he was even Moino.
Yes.
When he was just Pastor Moino.
That line.
He's had that line for...
That line, most people get into government, jettison that, I think that can be dropped. You see, people get into government, become governor, they block their former line. Do you get the point? You can reach them. But this man still has the same, and that thing is very strategic. It means that he can get information from certain people. Do you get the point? He might not answer your call, but you can send him messages. He will read those messages. There's nothing as good as a governor keeping in touch with the grassroots.
Okay. Architect Ezekiel Nya-Etok, thank you again and again and again for coming on our program. Thank you for even today, and thank you for the theme, the way what you've said. But President,
can you allow me to ask Architect George once
International President, I'm coming to you in a moment. I do not want to be distracted from asking this particular question and at this particular point in time. He just said about, the governor struck some deals, then he moved over, there are some agreements. What a crying shame, Architect. Are we therefore saying that this is democracy, that you have to go to the president's party, you have to prostitute, or you have to progressively move to the president's party before the president will give you your rights, your privileges as a Nigerian?
No. You see, there are things you have as privilege, there are things you don't have as privilege. They are discretionary. Even as a governor will make sure that your salaries are paid. He cannot hold your salary. Money for local government he cannot hold. But he has a right to say, I want to have a school in Uruan. For instance, the day God gives me capacity, people don't know that I started my real primary school in Itumbang. Yes.
Whoa.
During the war, I trekked from Ikorekbene, we stayed at Itumbang. So imagine me being in a certain position. Why do you think I'm very happy that this housing program is in Uruan?
In just the neighborhood.
Neighborhood to Itumbang. From Igbenukum, Itumbang.
Absolutely.
Because Itumbang must feel my presence while I'm alive. Do you get the point? Now, that is not the right of Itumbang. It is the discretion of Architect Nya-Etok, who realizes that he started his life in Itumbang. Are you getting me? So the president does not have to do certain things. Do you get the point? The president cannot withhold our allocation. He cannot withhold it. He cannot stop us from having a minister. But he can decide whether it will be minister or minister of state. It is his discretion. But your right will come. So being a friend of Mr. Bush has privileges. Do you get the point?
Okay, architect.
Sir.
Yes, I want to ask you this question. I know that one of the things no one can deny Governor Marino is his approach to governance, inclusivity, uniting every part of a Akwa state, making us one more than ever this part to journals nature. The governor has governed the state as one unit, not taking into consideration ethnic background, gender, religious. Now, the governor has done that. What would be your advice to one other political leaders in the state, including you? I know you are an apostle of inclusivity, like I said earlier. And beyond the political stakeholders, what would be your advice to Akwa Ibom State on the need to unite together as one people, as the governor has preached?
Two things. The first is that my case is different. You know, I've never spoken Anang in my life, and yet I'm from Nya-Etok. And I went to attend a meeting of Nya-Etok people. As soon as I entered, they stopped talking. He took distinguished Senator Iborosien to say, what's going on? There was a little whatever. It took him a long time to be able to convince the people. So here is Nya-Etok saying that we be okay. On the other hand, my mom is from Ikona, and I speak Ibibio. Do you get the point? So where do I belong? Except there is this love, this unity, this oneness. You find, and some of my biggest friends are from Oron. You know, incidentally, the first man that headed my campaign, you know, was the late Dr. Edunam. He's from Oron. And so at the end of the day, all this, look at what the international president said. When we leave this place, we are Nigerians. In fact, we are Africans.
Absolutely.
We are Africans, we are not even Nigerians. Every black man is an African, even if you are from Jamaica, you are Africans. And then when Nigerians meet, look at he goes for a meeting, and the head of Atianang, the lady, is one chairing the meeting where you have Mbong Parawa Ibibio. So please, all these issues they are not important. At the end of the day, these things don't put food on the table. That is why I have so much respect for Pastor Umoeno, because he doesn't have that tribalized thing about him. Maybe because he lived in Lagos, all these Lagos people, but it's good for us because the man talks to me, he takes me. My own case is even different. You can say, okay, a big man talk to a big man, whatever, but his disposition to everybody is without bias. That's number one. Number two, I negate your honor. Anybody
on live television.
Yes, I'm saying it. I don't without apologies. That will bring any form of war or disunity and cause very innocent young people to suffer, and the mothers to lose their children because of their political, interest. I am naked. Even if you know the a time has come when we need to open our mouth and say certain prayers so that this peace, God, who is not enjoying the peace that we have now? Who is not enjoying? Who is not enjoying this inclusivity that we are having now? Why can't it be maintained and sustained? I think that Akwa Ibom people should, the time has come. The Bible says that the kingdom of God suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. A time has come when we must hold this state and make sure politicians do what they want to do. But now that this man has brought this peaceful disposition to us, let us enjoy this peace and go with it. If you think that you were ward leader or chapter leader in APC or PDP, and on account of the governor merging the two together, because now they have become merged. You understand me?
Yes.
Please solve your problem yourself, but don't make it become our problem. You know the Bible, there was this lady that looked for Joseph's trouble, Potiphar's wife. When Joseph refused her
advances,
advances. He come back, do you know what she said? She said, this Egyptian, this Israelite has come to embarrass us. It wasn't us, it was you. It was you that embarrassed yourself. But they have to look for a way. She has to look for a way of getting public sympathy on her side. That's what politicians are doing.
Okay.
So we need to shine our eyes and make sure that they don't carry their own problem because you want to be chapter chairman or ward chairman or this or that, and then generalize it that the governor has left. As a result, this is Akwa Ibom has lost nothing by the governor leaving.
You think Akwa Ibom has gained everything?
We've gained. Okay. I can tell you, you know me. Umoino, he hasn't given me an appointment. He hasn't given me a contract.
And he won't give.
Governor, I don't know more.
And he won't give.
Okay.
Yes.
Critically, sir.
Yes.
Since the governor moved, I've placed my ears to the ground. People are saying, come so come. They will still bring out parties candidates for the next election. What are you saying about this?
Don't take Panadol for another man's headache. Tell them to fight well and bring us competent. You see, draw a line. Don't join politicians. You know where we started from. Your own is office of the citizen. Your own is to decide who to vote for. Party is to bring the candidates. So how the candidates emerge? Sarayak no more. You understand me? Our prayer is that because we are almost one party now, that we will have candidates that we will be proud of.
Question is actually simple, but firstly, let me thank you for what you're doing. Great job. You made mention of the fact that the housing scheme is structured for civil servants and then the private sector.
Yeah.
I would like to ask, how about people that are not in a structured
employment,
but they have desire to participate? Do we have anything?
Two things. I'll make this as fast as possible, and I want to be as honest as I can be. We go and source for money to build the houses. We have to look for people, no matter how much we help, including giving 20 years mortgage arrangement, but you should be able to pay back for those houses. But there's a second scheme that the federal government is doing. 100 units in every local government. In fact, I was with the minister. We're believing that we'll be able to push through and get Mr. President to sign off on it. 100 housing units in every local government. But guess what? 70% of those houses are given to people not on the cost of the house, but on the salary they earn. No matter the salary you earn, they take 1/3 your salary, which means even a driver, even a messenger, even a clerk, if you are earning minimum wage 70,000, no problem. You just pay 1/3 your salary. That's the real social housing scheme. For as long as it's possible
to take the money.
You understand me? So they are not saying the cost of the house is 10 million, 5 million. No. The cost of the house is 1/3 your salary. That's the social housing, the things that we're driving. And guess what happened to the other 30%? Will be given out free to indigent people. 100% free to indigent people. So that's the one that the federal government, the minister is putting together. We're part of the team, and we pray that it will go through on time so that it can be.
Good afternoon, architect.
Great man.
It's good to have you here. As you know, you are one of the most urbane and genteel Akwa Ibomites around.
Wonderful.
I've been following you since the Shelter Afrique days, and anytime you have an interview, one must always learn something from whatever you're talking. There's one story you gave of how you met Abom Pitota in an airplane and how the Shelter Africa story happened. Very nice story. So I'd like to also, no question, just to thank you for bringing the housing estates to my area. I'm also from the Tumbang Ekonokum area, so I'm very happy with that. Thank you very much.
He's from Donibum, actually. 18 year Karika, you have to be nice too. You just say small things and say no question.
On the contrary, sir.
I know.
Thank you, sir, for gracing this show with your presence. I also want to thank you for giving us relationship tips. Thank you very much. And sir, my question is, how would the defection affect existing partnerships and also funding arrangements that was tied to the PDP political structure?
No, nothing was tied to PDP's political. I can tell you that for free. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. Quote me anywhere. So no negative effect.
Engineer Morris.
All right, good to meet you. Yes, we have aligned with the center. But remember, we had always been with the center before the Buhari era, and we didn't really see the federal, impact, like the Calabar to highway left undone. Alscon was allowed to die. How are we sure that this particular alignment will work for us?
I'll tell you. Over familiarity brings about contempt. Do you understand me? We were taken for granted when we were with. In fact, I prayed that we left PDP, the center. I was one of those that said we should leave. Because it had come to a point where we were being taken for granted. Because of that, now they are looking for us. Are you getting me? So it's a very good time to enter. And whoever comes in must come in as a businessman, negotiate deals, because 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, they would have settled, and then they no longer, when a man marries a new wife, it is always the best time for you to make deals. You get the point? So I agree with you that when we're with the PDP at the center, they are taking us for granted. But when we left, APC, look, if it was before, and the PDP governor does anything, they will decide whether to come or not to come. In fact, your own is to come and fund center. But now, look at what will happen tomorrow. Everybody's going to be in Akwa Ibom, and the news is all over Nigeria.
All over the world.
All over the world. So I think the governor has made a very, very, very strategic move. And it's
look at them there.
Striking the iron while it is hot. Look at them there. Senate President, the guy, you see the bounce on his feet tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'd like to ask you, sir, you must have gotten this influence from somewhere. Someone must have molded you.
Molded you.
Molded you, or you copy somewhere. Who is your mentor?
Very, very quickly. Sometime in first is that my background. My mother suffered, and I swore to myself that I'll be somebody. My name is not Nya-Etok. My name was Ezekiel Jacob Nya. That was my name. Until my class 3 in school, I heard a guy who was Omoboriowo, one name that was, but because he was a governor, people learned to pronounce his name. So I said I must be important. This was a small boy, independent. I must be important. So I now came and changed my name, that Ezekiel Nya is too short. Nya, N-Y-A. No. So the men don't join young man and young. And that I must be so important that people must learn my name in this. Do you understand me? I've been very ambitious. I was the first Nigerian at 36 years, 35, 36, was the first Nigerian that got the Shelter Africa facility for any state government in this country, where I did the Shelter Africa project. I am ambitious. I must be successful. Whatever it takes for me to be successful, and with integrity. But the integrity part, about 94, I met a guy called Dikin Onosode. I just wanted, he was somebody that was so successful, but his character was impeccable. I just wanted to meet him. So one day I had the opportunity, and that day he was ill. So the secretary told me, please, you can't have more than 5 minutes with him. And for me, I just wanted to hear him. And when I went, long story, but I'll give an abridged version. My heart was really yearned for the man's spirit. Please, our young people, don't get spirit of politicians. You won't go far. You want to be rich. Get the spirit of integrity, sustainable. Do you know that 10 minutes the secretary came and was like, the man said, give me some time with this young man, because somebody touched Jesus and he said, virtue has come out of me. When this man was talking, my spirit, my soul, my body was drawing everything from him. Today you talk to a young man, as you are talking, he's pressing his phone. Do you understand me? Do you know that meeting lasted for about 3.5 hours?
Wow.
Onosode Deacon Onosode poured his life into me. Since that day, 1994, till tomorrow, I've never been the same. Being nationalistic, being professional. I'm not perfect. In fact, I don't know how God does it, but He hides my bad sides.
That's right.
But one thing I can tell you, that I have a heart that wants to do what is right. In politics, in professionalism, and anything I do, excellence. And then God also joined me with certain people like Reverend Chris Okotie. That guy is a stickler for excellence, for doing things properly. Guy is too much, and I was able to grow up under him. And there are a lot of people. Architect Obong Victor Atta, the professional. He was I carried the title and collected the money of being the consultant, but he was the one teaching me throughout. Because I was a young man, green, I knew nothing, but he saw the passion, he saw the zeal. So I was bearing the name of consultant to the state government, but Architect Obong Victor Atta made Shelter Africa to happen. Do you understand me? Because he saw me as teachable, and he will bring the pencil. He asked me one day, how are you going to have 700 contractors doing this work? He knew I just had zeal, but I didn't have knowledge. So I said, Your Excellency, as he was just laughing. I will come and sit down. This is what you are going to do. He told me how to organize site meeting. He told me how to do everything. And yet, what was I? A young boy called the consultant to the state government on housing. Then one day I asked him, Your Excellency, you've been so good to me. He said, Abo, for you to be the first Nigerian to get this facility for any state government in this country, there's something God has put in you, and it is my place to make sure that thing stays. That is a governor that we had.
Yeah. Maybe I can use that opportunity to ask Architect Nya-Etok that apart from being guided by Obong Victor Atta, a former governor, you must have had other experiences or challenges in the course of giving us Shelter Africa. So how are you going to use that? How can you surmount those challenges? If you could let us into them in this new dream of housing for civil servants and even the 100 units you're talking about in the local government.
I think that I learned so much from them. So a lot of what I'm doing is keying into the experience that I've had. Shelter Africa was green. It was a learning curve, but God brought Architect Obong Victor Atta. Ever since then, I've done several estates. I've been consultant to several other states on housing, the national. I've done a whole lot. So coming, this one is a piece of cake. Instead, what I'm thinking of is how can I use it as a platform to also pass down some things to the younger people so that they can share in the benefit, and what I didn't have, or what Architect Obong Victor Atta was to me, I can also be that
to others.
Them. So I'm looking for a way of having that project in a way that I can mentor a lot of young people and inspire in them that can do spirit.
What if our expectations don't come true? What if APC behaves the way PDP behaved with Akwa Ibom?
Two things. I think that it is almost impossible to imagine a man who marries a new wife, and then it's only if you see this cross-dresser that you find as a pretty lady and you take that lady to your house, and then when the person removes the clothes, you discover it's a man and not a lady. That's the only reason why a man who has just wooed a new bride will misbehave. But today, what we should pray for is how God will give our governor the wisdom to strike. The iron is hot. I can tell you, I'm in the center. The iron is hot. Do you get the point? Is the wisdom to strike and strike right. And he needs people like Nya-Etok. You know, a tree can never make a forest. There are a lot of our people in the center. I want to appeal to them. This is the time for you to join hands with the governor. Give him the strategic information. We've been there. He's been local in a sense. We've been there in Abuja. Give him the deals to structure to strike. Let us do more of synergizing and being able to get something in the larger interest of the state thing. Let me tell you, there were people that were there in APC before now. God gave you the privilege to be where you were. It's not your right. It's not your birthright. I want to appeal to our leaders, lovely people. You've had people like, let me be very straightforward, like Kumano Konumana, the governor, Tiebet. You know, we've had these big people. Yes. Do you understand? Tainang. So let these people, I beseech them. Let me tell you something. God gives power. Okay. Let them thank God for where they have been. Let the governor also recognize them.
Absolutely. He already has.
Let him recognize them. Yeah. But there can only be one person in one position at a time. Let them know that
the governor is in charge.
Yes, the governor is in charge. And let them think of the state. The Bible says there's he that scatters and yet abounds. And there's he that holds back more than his meat and yet tends to poverty. It's not about when the president gave me an appointment.
Absolutely.
God can take care of you. Think of the larger.
And I don't think you were not APC when they.
No, I was not in APC. You know, that man asked me a question. Yeah. And for about 7-8 months, I refused to do anything that has to do with APC. Do you understand me?
Yes.
To see if it was a bait. Nobody disturbed me. You don't let me be.
Yeah.
One day, around November or December, I just said, if this man believed in me, Young can't be able to campaign.
That's a very good thing you have said.
I went to my ward, registered in APC, and then I told them, I'm not going for the game of power. I don't want to be leader. I don't want anything. I just want to be able to stand on a platform and support the president.
Okay, because I mean, it looked like the way the president was grabbing everybody was about himself. But with this particular point you have said, just dispels all of that. Let's get the landing master. You have to land.
Two things.
Yes.
Very quickly. First is that when I was coming here, I stopped over to get something in a supermarket. And when I finished, a young man behind me said, please put it on my bill. I turned and looked at it. And I told no, they should put yours
on my own bill.
My own bill.
I'm your father.
And we were almost having a dragging session. He said, no sir, please give me this privilege to pay your bill for you. Okay, on my way coming here, you know, Shining Grace Media, I don't know, I can't remember his name, but I just thought that
you should acknowledge him.
Well, I used my old man sense to beat him because they already had my card. And I told that girl if she returned my card, there'll be big trouble in Little China. So, but imagine a young person. I'm far richer by any stretch of imagination.
Older.
And older. So please, there's something you can do to show, to help. There's something you can do to show love, show appreciation. Don't always say Guinea, but God will bless you and prosper you.
Amen.
And but finally, housing. Okay. Something is happening with Igbo Mortgage Bank, with the head of service, with Akwa Ibom people. Please, by next week, when you hear, you will call me back and thank me. That is for good.
What about with Akwa Ibom State now aligned? Hello, President Tinubu. Your last words on that.
That one is the most important to me. Please, Akwa Ibom people, don't leave this thing to Pastor Umoina alone. Those of us that are in Abuja, this is a time. The man has come at a very good time, and Akwa Ibom can reap so much. Let us put our hands together and make sure that this man gets the very best in the larger interest of our state. And my boss, my Oga President, now I don't sit down well, as we are coming with capacity, we are coming with a lot. So I want you to know that Akwa Ibom accepts you wholeheartedly. We are happy to work with you, and we are going to make you proud. Also, sir, they say one good turn deserves another boss. As we come, you say go. I trust you. Thank you, Mr. President, for appointing me. I'm really grateful, and God bless you, sir.
And he is.